Hello everybody, good evening. Today I'm in a little bit different setting than I normally am. I'm in my kitchen. I'm going to show you guys how I make my eggplant parmesan. I thought I'm making food tonight, I'm making dinner, might as well teach the world how to make it. This is one of our favorite meals and it's so funny, it lasts us so long. Sorry, my water is boiling. So I get one eggplant. See, I mean, obviously I cut the whole eggplant, but it was probably about like this big, and it lasts us for like 3 or 4 meals. So it's a really great meal if you want to have something like a couple times, if you want to get a couple uses out of it. So first, I just slice my eggplant, as you can see. I thinly slice it, so I do it as thin as I can without using a mandolin. Like, I could use a mandolin, and I know a lot of people do because they want them to be like perfectly even and everything, which is probably better, but I'm scared of those things. My dad like cut his hand a million times on those things, and I'm just scared of them forever. So I just cut them as thinly as I can with a sharp knife, and so I cut them super thinly, and then I put salt on them, and I don't know if you can see. Whoop. But when you put the salt on it, it like extracts the water. So I just put salt on it, let it sit for like 10-15 minutes, I don't know. And then I'm just gonna grab a paper towel and I'm just going to pat the water off. You don't want the water to be on there when you start coating it with the breadcrumbs and stuff because it's not gonna stick as well. So I'm just patting that off, and you don't really want super duper salty eggplant, so I'm wiping that off too. You just need a pat to get it off of there. Really easy, but if you don't do this step, then it really is not as good. Just saying, because everything just slides right off, and then it's not crispy and ugh, gross. I do not like mushy anything. I'm a super texture person. So if anything, I have more, see? This is all from one eggplant. Like 2 full cookie sheets of it. But you'll see I make my eggplant parmesan a little bit differently than most people. A lot of people will layer it in a pan and put like sauce and cheese and kind of just layer it until it's up to the top. I don't like to do that because I think it makes it mushy. So I just I make the sauce on the side, I have the cheese on the side, and then I make the eggplant on the side and have some pasta and just call it a day. I don't like all that mush. I don't know, I'm weird maybe, but I don't like the texture. Okay, so I just pat those off. Make sure I get all the water off. Just pat those off so now they're nice and dry. Okay, so next, this is the super duper fun part. Not really, it's kind of gross. Oh, do you guys like my apron, by the way? We saved our Starbucks aprons so that we could have aprons in the kitchen. So crazy. They work well though, and they have pockets. You probably can't see. They have pockets. So what I'm going to do next is coat them. So what you need for this is you need flour, you need breadcrumbs. I like to get the Italian style breadcrumbs because they already have seasoning in it. If you don't have Italian style breadcrumbs, just like normal breadcrumbs, then you can just add some seasoning, so like oregano and basil and parsley, that kind of stuff. But this already has it in it, so I don't need to add it. And then you need 2 eggs. I don't think I can show you this without spilling it. 2 eggs. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, instead of putting everything in bowls, I like to put the flour on one plate and the breadcrumbs on another plate because it's just easier to pat the eggplant into it. So I don't measure this at all. If you ask me for measurements, sorry about it, I don't have them. I don't really measure anything. I just kind of use what I need. So I'm just gonna put like a mound of flour on there, and you can always add more. I'm probably gonna need more than that actually, so I'll just add a little bit more. And then I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs onto this plate. And the order that you do this in is really important too. So you're gonna do, let's see if you can see this, flour, then eggs, then breadcrumbs. So let me grab a fork and we're gonna whisk these eggs up. You obviously don't want the yolk all done up in there. So you just want to whisk those around. I know some people will add like milk or whatever to their eggs. You can do that too. It's whatever your preference is. I think it makes it a little creamier or just thinner in general. Okay, let me move this really big knife out of the way. I just wanted to show you how I cut it. See, look how huge that is. Okay, hold on. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so I also am going to add some Parmesan cheese. This is fresh Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to grate some into the breadcrumbs. So it's already going to be mixed in there, and I don't need to add it later. But it's so fresh. It smells so good. So I'm just going to grate some in. Does everybody like eggplant? I know it's kind of like, some people like it, some people don't, obviously, with anything. That's the truth. But I feel like eggplant is kind of one of those iffy things. Either you love it or you hate it. I really don't like it when it's all mushy, like I was saying earlier, when it's layered and has all the sauce in it and it's like baked in the sauce. I really only like it when I make it this way. So I'm gonna bake it and make it nice and crispy and then have everything else on the side. Okay, I should probably take my rings off. This is not a good idea. Guys, look at this cute little thing I have. This holds my spoons, but I'm gonna put my rings on it. How cute. Okay, so this is the messy part, and if you don't like messes, I'm really sorry. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all my eggplant from one cookie sheet and just put them on this cutting board right here. This is the cookie sheet that I'm gonna be using. I have 2 different cookie sheets, just whatever will work. And I'm just gonna spray the bottom of it with just whatever cooking spray you want so that it doesn't stick. So I'm just gonna spray that real quick. I'm gonna set that over there, and now when I'm done with each piece of eggplant, I will put it on there. So you wanna start first with your flour. You don't want that much, like you don't need to coat it like crazy, just a light dusting, see that? And then you're gonna dip it in the egg. This is why it gets so icky, because you're doing flour and then egg. Isn't that a weird combination? When I found that out, I was like, ew, gross. And then dip both sides into the breadcrumbs. This is the most important part, so you wanna make sure that it's nicely coated with the breadcrumbs. Okay, then we're gonna put it over there. So it's really not difficult. It does take a little bit of time because, you know, you're doing a whole bunch of steps, but it is so worth it. It tastes delicious, delicious. So I bake my eggplant. I know some people fry it. I think it's just easier to bake it on these cookie sheets, but you can fry it in a pan with oil if you want. It just, I mean, I am not the best at frying things. I somehow always seem to try to catch the house on fire when I'm frying things. So I try to stay away from it as much as I possibly can because it's just not my forte there. Like, we were frying zucchini in a frying pan with oil, you know, and I was in between batches. So, like, I was just adding my new batch to the pan, and I didn't, like, remove it from the heat. I didn't remove the oil from the heat. So, it literally caught on fire. It just went up in fumes. It was crazy. David grabbed the pan and ran outside. Like, it was the scariest thing. But we learned our lesson. So, I try to avoid frying at all costs. So, baking is easier, but you can do both, whichever you prefer. And I have my sauce on my stove right now. It's just warming up. I actually had it from an earlier occasion when I just made pasta. So I have that just cooking. What are you guys up to? You guys can say hello when you're on here, just saying. See, like, I didn't get enough egg on there. So shoot, I'm gonna just, like this, I am not a professional, guys. I just kind of do my thing. Don't use recipes, just whatever. I probably should have done some of these before because this is a lot to do. Hold on, you do get very messy, just by the way. So just know that. If you don't like messes, this may not be your favorite meal to make. So flour, egg, breadcrumbs. And don't forget the cheese and the breadcrumbs. It makes it so much better. So yummy. So yummy. And I'm gonna make spaghetti with this, I think. I have a whole bunch of pasta. I buy it from Sam's when you get like a whole bunch of variety pack, you know. So flour, egg, breadcrumbs. But I think I really like spaghetti, so I think I'm gonna go for that tonight. Flour. And like I said, you don't want like a whole ton of flour on it. I honestly don't know why you put flour on it, but you do. So learn things from my mama. I would never know how to cook if it weren't for her. Hey, Holly. Yeah, I wish you were coming for dinner too. Why don't you come? We'll wait for you. Okay. Now, let me see if I can lift the phone so I can see you guys and you can see me, because it's kind of awkward. You can't see my face. Hold on. Don't want to get my phone all dirty. Okay, well, it's either you see me or you see the food. Well, I showed you that for a little bit, so I like being connected with you guys. So I'm kind of running low on all of my stuff, like my breadcrumbs and my flour. So I'll just add a little bit more to each one. But that's why I really don't care about measuring for this kind of thing, because you can always add more or less. Like, I'm not going to tell you you need 2 cups of flour, because I honestly don't know how much I just poured on this plate. So flour, egg, and you can do like an egg wash, like I was saying, like add milk to it. I've done that before too. You can do whatever. And then breadcrumbs with your cheese mixed in there. Go. Gotta make sure I don't burn anything. Oh, also, I set the oven to 425. You want it pretty hot for this kind of thing, because you want it to be nice and crispy. And that's also why you want these slices to be nice and thin. Honestly, the thinner the better, because it becomes nice and crispy and like a little chip. I like them super crispy. Okay, so these don't necessarily fit all the way on here. Maybe I'll put one on my other sheet. But there they are. Aren't they so pretty? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little break here, add some more flour to my plate, then add some more breadcrumbs, and then some more cheese to my the breadcrumbs. And just grate it. Fresh Parmesan is always the best, but if you just have that like sprinkle stuff from the container, that's totally fine too. Whatever works. And as you can see, guys, like, I did not do a perfect job with slicing these. You can do a perfect job if you use a mandolin, like I was saying, but I'm just like totally scared of them. My husband's home. David! I'm teaching people how to make eggplant.
I saw.
Well, do you know how to make it? You want to teach him?
Yeah, sure.
They're just washing my hands right now, so you can't really.
Oh, okay.
He's got to wash his hands. Well, you can't watch me do it and then do it.
I'm not watching you. My back's turned.
Okay. I guess he's gonna take over, guys. Just kidding. That's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
He's normally not allowed in the kitchen while I'm cooking.
So, what you do
Here,
is take
make
all
them
of your
see
breadcrumbs.
Make them. No, lift the camera.
Oh, that's silly.
Lift
Okay.
the camera.
No. It's okay.
Dude,
what you do is you take all of the breadcrumbs, you dump them in the egg, then you dump the flour in the egg, then you dump
Okay, you're
the
just being
eggplant
stupid.
into.
Stop.
It's because I don't know how to cook, baby. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's funny because David kind of What did you make the other night? And you were like, I just don't know how to cook.
I don't remember.
It was something so simple. You were like warming something up. Don't you remember?
I do remember, but I don't remember. Well,
Oh, chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets!
I
You guys.
put oil.
Okay, whoa. So, this is so funny because
It's
the
not
other
really
night,
that funny.
it's hilarious. I asked him to make chicken nuggets because, you know, I'm a sucker for chicken nuggets. And he comes in here and he's like, okay, first of all, he had no idea how long it was going to take. Well, I guess, okay, that's true. The package does not say as long. When you use frozen chicken nuggets, I like them nice and crispy, and they take a long time, like 30 minutes plus.
Yep.
And the package says, like, what, 20?
It says 11 minutes at 400 degrees.
Get the thing out. I don't believe you.
I'm gonna...
What? That's crazy. Do I want to tag David Tippett in this video? Yes. Tag.
Alright, conventional oven. Preheat...
David, click tag, because I can't do it. There we go.
Alright, conventional oven. Preheat
Oh,
oven
shoot, I
to
forgot.
400 degrees Fahrenheit. Place nuggets on baking sheet. Heat
Wow.
11 to 13 minutes.
My ear is right next to you. Did you
Yeah,
know?
but their ears
Okay,
are not.
great. Okay, thanks. So I guess that package is pretty wrong, but at the same time, I was like, no, it's gonna take 30 minutes because he came in there. He was like, I don't think I did it right because the what did you say? You're like, they're still soggy.
Yes.
And I was like, no, it's fine. They're gonna take a long time. That's just how it goes. Don't forget to spray your
Cooking
sheet
can.
because I just did, so I had to kind of take everything off and put it back on. Okay, so flour, egg. Here, I'm teaching you too.
Oh, okay.
Breadcrumbs.
Okay.
No,
So
I
do you
don't
want
want.
to point it down again?
They've seen me do this whole like 20 minutes worth. Just kidding, not 20 minutes, but close to it.
It looks like I'm getting shorter. Like,
You are.
side to side.
You wanna? Oh, I know what you can do. You wanna get the bread out of that and cut it, slice it into thick.
What is it? I'm so lost.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Thick
Go over there.
garlic bread, right? Yeah.
just get. I am very, very. What is that called when you don't want people in your space?
I'm gonna make you suffer.
I do not like. I cannot have people in the kitchen while I'm
She is
cooking.
claustrophobic.
Like he is not allowed in the kitchen while I'm cooking. So this is like a huge step. Seriously.
What'd you do with the bread knife?
What are you talking about? There's all those knives right there. See, this is the problem.
Oh, there it is.
Ready to see us fight? I'm just kidding. We don't fight. Right?
Definitely not.
We've never
No fighting.
Okay, shush. So, yeah, go ahead and slice that into like pieces of Italian, like garlic bread.
Yeah, garlic bread.
Well, I don't know. I have to be very specific sometimes.
Slices.
So he's gonna do that. If you guys want to see how I make my garlic bread, I can show you that too. It's very easy. I just buy like an Italian loaf from whatever store you want, and then I melt butter and press garlic into the butter and just swirl it around and kind of paint it on between each. Oh, don't let the slice go all the way down.
Oh, you mean like
Don't cut it all the way
yeah,
through.
Yeah.
So I don't cut it all the way through. You're hungry, Amanda? Come on over, girl.
I know, right?
What was I saying?
Don't cut all the way through.
Yeah, so I don't cut it all the way through so that I can just wrap it kind of in tin foil and like pour the butter in between there. I don't know, it's just less mess and yeah.
Well, easier to wrap in foil too.
Yeah, because if you have a bunch of separate slices, that's not going to work. Okay, so let me show you this again for those of you who missed this part. So you do flour. OMG, I'm almost out. Okay, this is where, see, this is where I compromise, guys. This is what I'm saying with the no recipe thing. So I'm going to grab some milk and put it in here, in the eggs. OMG, actually, can you smell this milk? Here, do it quickly, please. Like, quickly. Gross. Okay, I never know if the milk is good or not, and I don't smell things that are possibly bad smelling. Ew, he's drinking it, guys!
That's good milk.
Okay, it's good. Don't worry. Okay, thanks. So I just put a little bit of milk just to add more liquid to it, which I could have done this from the beginning, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. So you can either do milk from the beginning or not. Okay, and then I'm gonna like re-dip this back in there because I didn't get it wet enough. Then breadcrumbs. Okay, so as I was saying, you want to do flour, lightly coated. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. You don't want it to like caked on there. Then egg/milk mixture. Good job. Okay, okay. Don't break it. And then breadcrumbs. You want to wrap it in butter, or not butter, tin foil.
Yeah.
You know how I do it?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you want to put the tin foil at the bottom. Are you looking? Look at me.
Oh, I didn't know.
Look at me. Tin foil on the bottom, and then just like wrap it around the edges. It doesn't need to completely cover everything. Yeah, tin foil's in there.
Sure.
This looks exactly like watching your mama. Yep, that's who taught me, Holly. That's how it goes. Except for my mom, I'm pretty sure she lets my dad help a lot of times, and I'm just like, nope, get out of my kitchen. I'm so bad. I need to let him help, but you know, that's what I do for him, right? Cook for you. I cook for you, and you like it. Yeah? David, agree with me. Come on.
I am focusing on getting the bread on the foil.
You gotta get that bread on the foil. Hey guys, it's our spring break. This is why we can do fun things like this. Because normally I would not cook meals like this during the week because it does take a little bit longer than a normal meal. Okay, so now this Hot Mess Express, I'm just gonna throw this in the trash. And then all of this is just gonna... Huh?
And then David has to take the trash out because it's gonna smell.
No, it's not. All it was flour and breadcrumbs.
Oh, I thought it was the egg too.
No, I would never throw raw egg into the trash can. That's disgusting.
I would, so.
Okay, well that's gross. All right, so hot mess. So now. Oh my gosh, it's okay.
Don't fall, guys. Here.
Wait, what did I do wrong?
You gotta push this forward and then tilt it. Yeah, there you go. That'll be stable.
Yeah, no.
No, look, watch. Look.
No.
Just do it from here, not here. Okay.
Now it's all bright and weird looking. There we go. Better. Okay. So now, David Christian. So now I just spray the tops with cooking oil. Just make sure it's coated with oil. I don't know. And then the oven is set to 425. I'm going to put these in, and they normally take about like 15-20 minutes. But you just watch them. I never even set the timer. I just put them in there, and then I'll flip them about halfway through when they look nice and brown, a little bit bubbly, crispy, whatever they're supposed to look like. And then flip it, let it cook the rest of the way, then take them out and they're done. Okay, hold on. Let me put these in. Okay, so like I said, I have my sauce going on. Oh, I should probably set this on now. Okay, at this point, you would want to turn your water on to boil. Don't use that bag, it's icky. You'd want to turn your water on to boil if you're making any pasta with it, which I think is the best with pasta, so I would say do that. But this is the point that you would want to turn your pasta on while that's cooking, the water on for the pasta, while the eggplant is cooking in the oven. I have my sauce going. If I hadn't made my sauce ahead of time, I probably would have just started with the sauce and then gone from there. But I have my sauce that I had from another time on the stove. And for sauce, tomato sauce is not that hard to make, guys. It's like super easy. You just use cans of crushed tomatoes. I put a tiny bit of oil in the bottom, and then garlic, and brown the garlic. Then I put my my seasonings in, so like basil, oregano, and then I pour a couple cans of tomato sauce in, and then I put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Sometimes I'll put some garlic powder or onion powder. I don't know. I just throw like random stuff in. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. And then I put a little bit of balsamic vinegar. This is like my secret thing. I don't know if other people do this, but a little bit of balsamic vinegar and then some sugar to sweeten it up a little bit. And just let it come to a boil. And then when it comes to a boil, turn it to simmer and let it simmer as long as you can. Like the whole entire day would be awesome, because the longer you cook it, the better it tastes. So there's that for the sauce. Pasta, I hope you know how to make pasta. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. Okay, so I will say, so the way that I'm making it is I'm baking it in the oven, and then I put it all on the side. So I have the eggplant, and then I have the pasta and the sauce, and then you can dip whatever you want in whichever thing. Now, what a lot of people do is, holy moly, that was loud, sorry. They grab like a pan like this that's kind of deep, and they'll start to layer. So they'll put a little bit of sauce at the bottom of the pan, then they'll put a layer of eggplant on the bottom, and then you'll put some cheese and some more sauce, and then you'll do it again. So you'll put eggplant, cheese, sauce, eggplant, cheese, sauce, and then end with eggplant and cheese at the top. You don't want sauce at the top. And then they bake it after it's already been cooked. So you would bake your eggplant in the oven, make it nice and crispy, whatever, and then add it to this pan and layer it. And you can definitely do that. I just prefer it this way, like on the side, because when you do this, it still tastes great, but it's not as crunchy. Like, it's not crispy anymore. It's kind of mushy, and I don't like that texture. So that's why I do mine on the side. I'm such a pain, I know, because my mom always had to keep my eggplant out of the eggplant parmesan thing. So technically, eggplant parmesan is going to be in a dish like this that's layered and has the cheese and the sauce all together layered. But sorry, I'm high maintenance. Okay, let's do the garlic bread real quick. Can you bring the bread over here, please? Thanks for helping me. Wow.
Welcome.
This is so exciting. Okay, so all I do, I grab some butter. Can you get a mug for me? A white mug? Yes. I'm going to melt this butter. Okay, so, you know what though? We're probably not going to eat all this bread.
We should.
No, we're not going to, is what I'm saying. But would you rather? Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. I know, I was just thinking of freezing it and saving some for later. No? Okay, cool. So, butter. I'm going to use, since I'm using this whole loaf of bread, which David so beautifully cut, see, and he cut it so that it's not cut all the way through the bottom. It's still a loaf. And then he wrapped it in tin foil. So I'm probably gonna use like 4 tablespoons, so half a stick of butter. We like butter. And I'm going to just melt it in the microwave because that's easy and quick. No big deal. Okay. Oh, can you grab spaghetti when you get a second and put it in the thing? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna grab some garlic. We always have tons of garlic around here. It's very necessary in an Italian home. Good gracious, can I speak? Okay, and then I'm gonna get my garlic press and just stick the garlic in there. And I'm gonna press it into the mug with the butter in it.
I turned it down a little bit, is there?
No.
Just a smidge.
No.
It's
Why?
starting to bubble out the sides.
We'll take the top off and put the pasta in. It won't do it anymore. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not necessary. It needs to cook. Sorry, we're talking about the water boiling. Okay. Ooh, something just poked me at the microwave. Okay, so now butter is melted. You can see it's steaming like crazy. Butter is melted. I'm gonna press. Thanks, love. I think we'll eat it. You can make the whole thing. He's just using spaghetti. Oh my gosh, sometimes it's so hard to press the garlic. Okay. I always scrape the rest off with the knife. And I'm using about like 4 cloves of garlic, I think. I don't know. Guys, I'm so bad at directions, so you're just gonna have to make it up yourself. Sorry. Okay. I'm just kidding. If you actually have questions, let me know and I can figure it out for you. Or I can send you a recipe that's similar to what I'm doing. Okay, the problem is we don't have like a brush. You know, like my parents have?
Oh, yeah. Like a baster brush.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A baster brush?
I just made that up.
So we don't have it. Hey, Kevin. Hey, David. Kevin said, yo, David.
Yo, Kevin. What's up, homie?
Cooking in the kitchen. Okay, so here we go. I'll just show you like this if I can without breaking my life. Wait, how did I do this last time? Here we go. Okay, so here's the bread. And this might be a disaster, so we're just gonna go for it because normally you would want to use one of those basting brushes. All right, Kevin, sounds good. See you in a few. He's coming over.
Oh, sweet.
Wow. So I'm just gonna kind of pour it. Just gonna pour it. And normally I would open up each thing and make sure that I'm getting like an even-ish amount of garlic and butter between each thing. But because we don't have the right tool, it kind of makes this a little more difficult. Just like with makeup, guys. Wow. Full circle right there. If you don't have the right tools to apply your makeup with, it's probably not going to look that great. It's a good analogy. Just like with cooking. If you don't have the right tools, it's not gonna turn out the way you want it. Okay, so you can see that I just kind of like sprinkle the rest of the garlic on top and just whatever. My hands are a hot mess. Let me just use a napkin. So then we just wrap it up in the foil. Just cover it up, and you don't need to put this on a pan or anything. You just pop it right in the oven on the rack just like this, and it cooks for like 10 minutes, I think. I don't know, but you'll know when it's nice and kind of bubbly and just warm. You want it to be warmed. I guess it doesn't get bubbly. The butter does. But just gets nice and warmed and delicious and nutritious. How is it boiling over that? We have like this super fancy pot. See it?
You put it to the edge here. What? It's okay. It's fine.
I obviously don't know how to cook. It's fine though, because I learn new things every day. But anyway, that's basically it. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know and I can help you. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, we have a bunch of Starbucks aprons that we kept because you may as well use them. They're super nice and have pockets and everything, so they're great to use. So we're not going to get rid of them.
It's pretty funny though, because I know a lot of baristas, the second they would get out of Starbucks, they'd ceremonially throw their aprons away, and I'm like, I would never do that.
Why would they do that?
I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
I don't know.
That's
know
crazy.
A lot of people who did it.
We have our hats too. We actually have our aprons and hats hanging in the other room, like mine on one side and David's on the other with our name tag on it, because it's part of our story.
Also, Kevin, where was our Shattered Mobile hats or shirts, man? Come on, bro. I don't have any shattered... Actually, I'm just kidding. I have a Shattered Mobile mouse pad, and that's awesome.
Okay, well, you know what's really funny, guys, is I just finished my last class at Regent. And just last week, David brought me a Regent shirt, and that was the first Regent apparel item I've ever had since I've gone to Regent. And it's like, okay, I've been here forever now, guys, and I'm graduating, and I just finally got a shirt. It's crazy. Thanks, Kevin. But, yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was a little bit different than what I normally do on Facebook, but You can comment, message me, whatever, if you have any questions about it, or if you try it, let me know. Send me pictures. I'll post pictures later so you can see how it turns out. Hopefully I don't burn anything.
You won't burn anything. I have faith.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace out.
Bye.
See ya.